Hello, and welcome back, everyone. It wasn't long ago that I saw you all, and welcome back to Intro to Google AI Studio session. Uh, let's wait for a couple of minutes for folks to join. I have shared the link to check in the chat, or if you're more of a QR code person, here you go, a link for you all to quickly like join, log in, check in. Like, so many words there. Okay, we're waiting for, like, let's say 10 or 20 more seconds before we get started. Okay, so please check in for the session. I have shared a link in the chat. Or there is also this QR code. There's also a short link. Like, you have a ton of links that you can basically use to check in for the session. Okay, please do check in for the session. It is very important because if you check in for this session, then you will be eligible to enter into a raffle, which will happen like sometime on Monday. Basically, the team will randomly choose someone as a winner for this raffle that we are going to run. So please do check in. Okay, I think we have enough people who have joined. First of all, hello and welcome back, everyone. Uh, in this session, we are going to talk about AI Studio. Uh, Now, if you missed the first session, you don't know who I am. So, my name is Utkarsh, but I go by UT. That's how everyone in MLH knows me. I have been a coach at Major League Hacking since like 2022. As I said, like, I can recommend you a murder mystery novel. No one asked for it. I don't think so. Anyone asked for it yet. But I did recommend one, The Last Death of the Year. So yeah, please do. If you are a fan of Agatha Christie novels, that writing, you'll definitely enjoy that book. This is not a paid promotion or anything. This is just one of the recent books that I read. And outside of Major League Hacking, I work as a front end developer. Okay. Uh, will we get swags? Yes, you will. If you check into the session, you will be eligible to win a prize, a swag prize, a raffle, like as we call it. The raffle of a prize, swag. Yeah, cool. Okay, so first of all, like, why this session? What are we talking about, and why is this whole focus on AI? Uh, okay, so as we all think here at Major League Hacking, learning to use AI throughout your development flow is an essential skill. It is similar to like learning to debug. Okay, it is essential, like being able to follow through code, understanding where the potential problems might be, for which you need to understand the language itself, the programming language that you are using to write code. So using IDE to the best of its ability, using like terminal to the best of its ability. Okay, all of this are some of the important skills that you have, and one of them now is also using AI in your development flow. And MLH hackathons are the best place to learn about these AI skills, because you may or may not be able to learn it at work. You will be refrained from using it at school. uh, and it is not exactly possible to find a platform where you can learn these skills, experiment with it, and find like-minded people. And that is where MLH hackathons come in. So Major League Hackathons, they are the best place to learn AI skills, because number one, you get to experiment with a lot of things. Number two, we provide a lot of Like we partner with a lot of companies who provide their AI tools and skills to kind of use in your project. That's the best way to learn by building, right? So uh, as part of this hackathon, you will see like there are awesome number of companies who have come in, and they have been like, okay, yes, you can get free credits if you sign up, and you can use them to build some AI tools, some technologies, all these things. So Major League Hackathons, best place to learn these AI skills. And you find like-minded people because everyone here is trying to use those AI skills, build their knowledge. So everyone is here to learn. Okay, so best place to be in. And now a quick question for the audience here: who knows the difference between AI Studio and the Gemini app? Anyone? Like difference between what is AI Studio versus what is the Gemini app? Okay, so I have an answer. Developer playground for Gemini models, offers deeper customization, API access, and a whole lot of things. Perfect. Thank you so much for that answer. Okay, so as we would like to define it, Google AI Studio is a playground with free usage and beta features specifically for creators. Okay, now I say creators because it allows you to use a lot of features that Google is offering via AI Studio. Some of these, like the very popular ones that you would definitely know the name of, Nano Banana. When that came out, you could actually experiment with it on Google AI Studio. The latest models that come out of Google, all these Gemini latest models. So Gemini Flash, 2.5 Flash, Gemini Flash latest, Pro, all these, yes, Gemini 3 Pro, yep, perfect. So all these are available on the AI Studio. So we are going to kind of use this playground to play with all the uh, models that come out of Google, and we'll again have a speed run through a lot of demos. We will build a few projects, we'll see how each feature works. I'll try and showcase you a number of things, and if you want to follow along, feel free to follow along, or you can just watch it. It will be, this is recorded, this will be on the YouTube channel of Major League Hacking. So yeah, with all that, let me tell you what are we going to do. We are going to kind of go through uh, like getting an API key. So we'll quick start and get an API key. We'll learn about grounding with Google search. If you don't know what the word grounding means, I will show it to you, and talk about it. We'll talk about grounding with URL context, and we'll build and deploy a raffle app. Maybe uh, not like tell you what to do, how to do it, depending on the time. We'll see if we can deploy it, but it's very easy. What is a raffle app? Raffle means uh, giving out prizes. Okay, raffle app would be like, let's say, uh, think of a spinner. Like you have your names, and then you kind of uh, move that spinner, and it like finally it stops on someone's name. That is a raffle app, if that makes sense. Okay, so with that, let's get into it. Now, I'm going to ask you to open this mlh.link/AI studio. Okay, if you don't have, like, if you can open it, please feel free to. If you can't, here you go. Okay, there's the link to AI Studio. Okay. So if you are unable to open it, I I'm sure that it is actually region specific. So unfortunately, if it is not available in your region, you won't be able to work with it. Sorry about that. But you can definitely watch me work with it, and then we can try. Oh, then you need to open, yes. Try refreshing it, clearing cache. Try opening in incognito or something. See, and then try. That should help. Try. Okay. There are some suggestions from a user here. Yeah, try clearing the browser cache, cookies, and use a supported browser like Chrome. Yep. Try all this and confirm if you're able to use AI Studio. If your region is listed, you should be able to kind of work with it and see it. Okay, so perfect. So in a new incognito window, you can open it. I'm just waiting for. So there are some Gemini API terms, like based on this. A quick Google search gave me this, that there are a few Gemini API terms, yes, that suggest that you have to be above 18, 18 or above to get access to a lot of features. So could be that is blocking, but I think Google AI Studio should have still opened. Uh, are you using a personal account or an EDU account? Like those things also matter. Okay. So for folks who can actually see the Google AI Studio, I'm going to go over and open it. So if you open Google AI Studio, this is what you would actually see if it works for you. Uh, okay. So a lot of things here. Let me just zoom into the screen. Uh, okay. So there are like what's here, like this is the home page. You can try out the different models. On the top right you can see Gemini 3 flash preview. You can check out the different Gemini models that are available, all the models. For the image, there is Nano Banana, there is Nano Banana Pro. So you can kind of select different models from here and just work with it, try it out. There are a lot of things here. I am in a temporary chat, so we can try it out on a temporary chat. We can also try and grab an API key. So I have already created an API key. To create an API key, you can just simply click on this create API key. Get an API key is on the bottom left here. Then click on create API key, name it, select a project. I already have a project. So once you have done both of these things and click on create, then you will end up something like this where you will get an API key generated. I have generated a quick API key for this session. Okay. Now, what are we going to do? We are going to go over to API Quick Start. So I've clicked on this link that opens a new page. Gemini API Quick Start. So the first thing that I'm going to show you all is how to kind of quickly grab an API key. We already did that. Uh, just a quick note, if you're using an edu account, if you have an education or school account, university school account, uh, you'll need to switch over to your personal Google account for this. Okay. And uh, what's the word, yes, so please ensure that you have switched over to a personal Google account and then generate an API key. Now, the reason why we are creating an API key is because, number one, we want to kind of uh, see that how easy it is to get uh, what's the word, to get an API key, to create a project, and just work with it. So that is one of the major reasons why I'm going to show you what to do with API keys, how to work with it, and how to quickly grab something, how to quickly grab some very small and simple uh, code snippets and try it out. Okay, so these are the things that we are going to do in this session. So number one, please ensure that you are using a personal account, and we create an API key by clicking on create API key, give it a name, give it a cloud project. If you don't have a cloud project, you can click on create project. It asks you for a name of a project, and that's it. So it doesn't have to be like, it's not that difficult. Okay, so now we'll do most of the demos in the AI studio itself, this page, but I'll also show you how you can actually do it using, like, you can do the same things that you could do in AI Studio on your IDE. So I'll use VS Code for this. Okay, cool. So I have grabbed an API key, and then I clicked on API Quick Start, which got me here. Let me share this link in the chat. Okay, cool. So there's the quick start. Now we have, like, there are multiple languages that you can use and work with right here. I have, like, there's Python, there's JavaScript, Go, Java, C Sharp, AppScript. Uh, I'm going to focus on Python. Uh, we'll have to install the Google Gen AI package for this. I've already installed it. So let me show you my setup, and then we can go ahead from there. So my setup is I have created a Python virtual environment already. So to do that, I had to do Python 3-m venv, that is virtual environment, and created a Gemini env. Then I installed two packages. Okay, the first package that I installed is this Google Gen AI. Okay, so just copy that. After you create an environment, you'll have to activate the environment. So once you activate it, as you can see right here, it says Gemini env is activated. And if I do which Python, it will tell me that the one in Gemini env bin Python is getting used. Then you can just paste the pip install command from here, which will install the Google Gen AI package. Mine is already installed, so that's why it's not showing anything. Then the next step is you can kind of copy this code snippet. Okay, and uh, you can paste it locally. So I'm going to say, like, let's say quick start underscore 1.py. I'm going to paste this code snippet. So I've used this code snippet. There is this requirement here which says that the client gets the API key from the environment variable Gemini API key. So what is an environment variable? Environment variables are normally .env files, as we call it, which have some hidden data. Okay, so these, like, this is the data which is something that you will not make public. Okay, so I have a .env.example, which is where we'll have all the data. I have created like three variables, you can say. One is the Gemini API key, there is the hackathon name, and there's a reference URL. For the time being, we only focus on the first two. So removing this, uh, And what we need to do is replace this Gemini API key with the API key that we created right here. So I'm going to just copy this API key, and I'm going to take this screen away, and I'm going to paste it in the .env file. So I'm going to do exactly what I have done, like in the example file, but instead I'm going to paste it in the .env. So I've copied the API key from my Google AI Studio. Click on copy API key, then come over to your code editor. Hopefully you have a project. Go into the .env file and replace that last bit with the API key. So I've done that. Okay. And my API key would look something like this. This is not my API key. Okay. This is just some random words that I've typed, but this is what it would look like. Okay. This is not my API key, just by the way. Hmm. Okay, cool. So I have copied the API key and I've pasted it in the .env file. I'm not going to show you that file. It is secret, but I've told you uh, what it would kind of look like. Uh, oh, I can tell you what I did. So step one is you have to do. mm, So this is how you create a virtual environment. Okay, what is a virtual environment? You have, like, think of your laptop, your desktop, your computer as a global environment, which means that any library that you install is available everywhere to all the files. Virtual environment is a sort of a local environment, which is to ensure that any library that you install going forward gets installed only in this folder. Okay, so to create a virtual environment, this is what I did. Then you have to activate that virtual environment. So in Mac, to activate, you can do source and this to activate the virtual environment. Cool. You For Windows, you can quickly check out activate Python env Windows. There must be somewhere on how. Oh, just doing this will activate it apparently. So yeah, try out, like, for Windows. For Mac, I told you what to do. So this will activate the virtual environment, and I have Gemini env activated. I have copied over the API key, and now I'm going to make some very small changes in the quick start underscore one.py so that it can actually load the environment variable and read from it. Okay. So that is important because, well, if I have a .env file, this file needs to understand and know that, yeah, you need to kind of read from this .env file. So for that, we can install python-env package. Okay, mine is already installed, so it's not going to go ahead. But let me also give you this one, like this. To answer this question, yes, I am using Visual Studio Code, and it is not the online version; it's an offline version. Okay, and some quick changes in this code, like very small, simple changes. Don't worry, like, too much. So I am going to import OS, and I'm going to from, oops, and from .env I'm going to import load env, and right after this I'm just going to say load underscore dot env. This remains the same, this remains the same, the contents we can change. So I'm going to actually just add a hackathon underscore name equals os dot vion dot get, and get the hackathon name and replace it with whatever is in the environment variable. Okay, so oops. Ah, ignore. Okay, so hackathon underscore name os dot environment dot get hackathon name, and okay, and I'm going to just change. So you can change the model if you want. I'm going to change one thing here. I'm going to change the question. Okay, and I'm going to ask when is the hackathon name happening. Perfect. So this is what I have as part of the code. Let me just kind of remove all the extra spacing so that you can see the whole code. Okay, most of it was copied over from the APIs like Studio. I just made some simple small changes. Okay, so now we have to run this code and try it out. I have already updated my .env file, so that should have the hackathon name. So in the hackathon name, which hackathon are we at? We are at Hacks for Hackers hackathon, right? And uh, you can update the reference URL, but right now we don't need to. So what I'm doing as part of my code is, well, most of it came from the API Studio. I've just added a load env and import os to load the environment variable and get this variable, okay, from the env file, .env file. Okay. Okay, cool. Now let's quickly run this. So I'm going to say python 3 dot slash quick start underscore 1 dot py. So I've asked it a question. When is this hackathon name happening? And in the name, in the hackathon name variable, it will be hacks for hackers. Okay. I can just simply, if you don't want too much complexity, I can simply ask it, when is hacks for hackers happening? Okay. So multiple ways to kind of ask the question. I'm going to just hit enter and let's check it out. So MLH Hacks for Hackers 2024 is happening from July 19th to July 21st, 2024. It's a virtual event hosted by Major League Hacking. So it got me the answer. Okay. It got me the answer, but it's talking about 2024. That is 2 years ago. Like if I talk from today, it is 2 years ago. So why is that? Okay, let's try it out on AI Studio. So I'm going to go over to Google AI Studio that I have open, and I'm going to go back to the dashboard, the playground, temporary chat. I'm going to choose one of the models. So I'm going to go into Gemini model. Okay, and let's see. I want the Gemini 3 Flash preview. And I'm going to ask it the same question. When is MLH Hacks for Hackers happening? Going to hit Command Enter and it's going to think about it. And it is going to reply the right answer. Okay, so it replied the right answer. How? Because there was something called as grounding with Google search, which was by default turned on. Okay, so grounding with Google search allows it to go and fetch the latest information. Okay, if I have this turned off, okay, and I try it again, okay, then you will see that it might not return the correct answer because it was trained on an older data. Okay, so it doesn't know what's the latest happening. Okay, so it gets me something. But if I turn on the grounding with Google search, in that case it will go and fetch the, like, do a latest Google search for this event, and it is going to get me the exact dates. Okay, and there we go, it got me the latest data. So grounding with Google search, so grounding with Google search allows it to get access, or you are basically telling it that, hey, you have access to Google search, go and fetch the latest information that you can find on this like on this question that I've asked, on this context. And you can kind of try it out similar locally. Okay, but before we do that, let me also show you one more thing, one interesting thing. So there is grounding with Google search that we tried out. There is one thing which is right below it. Okay, which is URL context. Okay, so more often this is turned off, but now they have started turning it on again by default, so that it goes and fetches the latest information that it has. The other one is URL context. Okay, so I've turned off the grounding with Google search and I've turned on URL context. And now I'm going to ask it that, actually, let me just turn off both of them. Can you suggest some hackathon projects that fit the theme or prize categories available at MLH Hacks for Hackers? Okay, so I've asked it a question. Let's see what it comes returns back with. So currently I have everything turned off, no grounding with Google search, no URL context, nothing. And it is getting some details: best hardware hack, best social community hack. Uh, are we sure these are the price categories that we have? I'm pretty sure we have a lot of other different price categories this weekend. So let me give it the link to prizes at Hacks for Hackers. So I'm going to turn on the URL context. I'm going to copy this question again, and I'm going to give it the URL for all the prizes. Okay. I hope you all have all a link to all the prizes. Okay. So let's try it out. I've turned on the URL context, and now let's hit enter. Let's see. Can it go and fetch all of these price categories? Okay. So let's see. It's thinking, and ta-da! Okay. Best use of Auth0, best use of MATLAB. Not really there, but okay. Best use of MongoDB. TinyMCE, I don't think we have that as a price category. So it's there, but not quite there yet. Okay. We can try and experiment with it. So we can say that, okay, can you like depending on how you have asked this question, it tries to get the correct answer more often than not. So example, if I try it out again and say that this is the link, use the link or something like that, it tries to get it again. So sometimes it works, sometimes I would say it would fail slightly, but more often it would work than not. Okay. So I am going to turn this off and I'm going to ask it again. Okay. And I've told it that, hey, use this link for available price categories. I've tried to enhance my prompt. Let's see how good this would work out. Again, uh, with additional context, the it becomes better, but you need to kind of give it slightly more details. So yes, it is reaching there, but not exactly there. Okay. So again, it kind of faltered around. Okay, what am I reading it correctly? Even though URL context is on, uh, it is slightly, uh, what's the word? It's not 100% correct yet. Okay. If I say, okay, can you try it out again? Okay. Give it more context. I've said that use it like MLS Hacks for Hackers 2026. I'm trying to give it more context and see how it is going to react. Yes, let the twist begin. I am trying to do that. Yes. Uh, okay, perfect. So it's now kind of reaching there. It's like, okay, I think I understand 2026. Okay, best hardware hack, accessibility. Okay, yep, getting there, getting there. Perfect. So it has got a nearly correct. So that is something that I wanted to show you. Like grounding with Google search. If you don't have that turned on, it does not really have the latest data because it was trained on an older data. But if you turn on grounding with Google search, then even if you are using a model which was trained on an older data, it gets the result based on the latest available data. Okay. I can also try and give it the other link. Okay, so let's see. If I increase the links, do you think it would perform better? Link to hackathon, link to dev post of hackathon. So these are all the links that is available to you. I've tried to enhance the prompt by giving it more details. And let's see, can it perform better this time? Oh, I have turned that on as well. Okay, so it is getting there. Yep. Okay. The previous answer was better, like good. This is better. It has gone into more projects. Uh, so yeah, there we go. I would say that in terms of best use of Gemini API, best use of MongoDB, it has got some interesting and awesome projects. It was there before as well. Gemini API MongoDB. Okay, so yeah, there we go. This is the grounding with Google search URL context. And if you want to try it locally, you can click on the get code button, which is on the top right. And you can kind of copy this whole thing. Okay, so I'm going to copy. I'm going to go over to this one. I'm going to just paste it. Okay, I'm not using base 64. It has kind of loaded a lot of things. I can ask it a question if I want. I'm going to just copy paste the two things that we had, which was these two. So load the environment variables. Okay. So we'll load the environment variables again, and I am sure that I have all the questions that like I'm just going to ask it the basic question. Okay. Uh, I have a simpler code, so I'm going to. Yep. So again, we have to install Gen AI. We have to ask it some questions. I'm going to paste the prompt right after. Okay. Gemini API key should be there. You can change the model that you want. it is using Gemini 3 Flash Preview. You can change it to, let's say, Gemini Flash Latest, for example. Okay. You can ask it a question, like example, if I ask it, when is uh, hackathon name? Okay. When is MLH hacks hacks for hackers happening? Uh, okay. We have tried to give it everything. We have given it URL context. There's also this whole thinking level. So you can kind of experiment with it. You can say that, okay, the thinking level should be like minimal. There is temperature, media resolution. So a lot of things that you can kind of trigger, like play around, say, okay, this is what I want, and you generate the code, and the code will have those details. So if you change this to, like, let's say minimal, and you generate code, in this case it will say, okay, the thinking level is minimal, and this is what we'll use. Okay, so a lot of things right there. I have a simpler code which should work, so I'm going to just paste that. And this is a simpler code. uh, why? Because I can paste it right here in the chat, and you all can try it out. Okay, so I'm going to again do this underscore 2.py, and hopefully I have 100% sure I've set it up, but let me just double confirm that I have added the reference URL. Yep, I have. Perfect. Okay. So the reference URL is the link to the hackathon itself. And there we go. So I have used this very simple code to kind of get, oops, I don't think this will go together. So let me just give it to you in two parts. Number one is this, which is up until here. Hopefully this goes as a single message. Ah, no, even this doesn't go as a single message. Let me try this bit. Well, this should go as a single message. So these are all the inputs. Then you can define the list of tools. So this is the second bit of the code. And then you can try out, well, like the whole response bit. Okay. And let me remove all the comments so that again, it becomes a smaller piece of code. It is not on GitHub, which is why I'm giving it the space. Okay, so the reference URL, in this case, the reference URL that I have given it is basically the link to this hackathon event, which is this link. Okay, so I've given it this link. I've given it the name, and of course, I've given it the Gemini API key, which I'm not sharing with you all. And there we go. It got uh, all the details that it needed. And in this case, it is using the URL context tool. Okay, so the tool that is turned on is this URL context. Cool. Okay, so we can ask it more questions. You can kind of uh, ask it like, suggest some projects for this cool project ideas. Okay, so I'm going to ask it this question. In this case, the project is, the hackathon name is MLH Hacks for Hackers. The reference URL I already shared. Let's see how this one performs. The URL context is turned on thanks to, in the list of tools we have given it that, okay, use the URL context. And there we go. It got some ideas. It said, oh, you can build for hacks for hackers. You can, based on these workshops. Okay, so it also got some workshops and it says, oh, you can build this, you can explain my code tool, error message debugger, idea or concept, virtual mentor. So everything that it got from this reference URL that I had given it, so everything that it got from here is what it used to kind of generate some project ideas. So it got this hacking with GitHub Copilot intro to Google AI Studio as the sessions that are happening. And it said, oh, if those are the sessions, then in that case, what you could do is build these projects. Okay, there we go. So, yeah, we have successfully snagged an API key. We have tried grounding with Google search. We have tried, oh, don't worry, like just last 5 minutes. Okay, so the last thing that I want to show you before people go to sleep is build. Okay, so in Google AI Studio, if you go to the build project, ah, you are absolutely welcome. Sorry, I missed the message earlier, I think. That is funny. Okay. Okay, cool. So, one last thing that I want to show you before people go to sleep is the build bit in Google AI Studio. Okay, so we have clicked on this build and we can kind of ask it to build something. So, I'm going to ask it that can you make a simple web app with a visual spinner to help me select a raffle winner? Okay, I've asked it to build a project and I've just given it some instructions. So now it is going to figure out uh like some, like what technology to use. So mostly it would go for React, as far as I know, slash I've checked it out. So we can go into the code bit and there we go. So it went into like in this index.html and it downloaded Tailwind CSS CDN via CDN. It's creating these uh, TSX components. So it is going to kind of build a project and there we go. Done. Camera? Really? It needs access to my camera? Okay. Let me first see how it looks when it gets access to my camera. Ah, hang on. It didn't switch on a camera, but there we go. Completely created a project from scratch. And now, like you don't have to stop here. Okay. If I go into the code, you can see, okay, there's an app.tsx, there's a raffle wheel.tsx, so TypeScript code, and it got some types added as well. I think everything is there. It works. We have seen it. Okay, that it works. And you can now share it with someone by clicking on this save to GitHub button. Give it like the repository name. So I'm going to, like, I can give it some repository name. In this case, like, let's say Google AI Studio Raffle. Okay, it's going to be private or let's say public. You can kind of give it some details if you want. Like there are so many things that you can do. Raffle winner, for example. Then I click on create a git repo. It will sync my changes. It will be like, okay, maybe it will first ask me, can you connect your GitHub to this, please? I had previously connected it, so it actually got it directly. It got my GitHub, and it's also going to create this project. I don't have this. Google AI Studio Raffle is not a project that I have. So if I go into this one and search for, oh, it has now created it, updated just now. Okay, there's just one README created, nothing else. I'm going to say, yep, this is all good as a commit message. Going to click on stage and commit all changes. And now if I go here and reload, there we go. complete app. Okay, the whole app. And there it is. It has successfully created this, and I've also posted on GitHub. You can check it out if you just visit this link. Not just here, you can actually even deploy this application. So you can select a cloud project. The only problem is you need to enable billing, for which you need to add credit card. But if you have access to a credit card, you can set up billing and you can actually deploy this project live for you all to work with. So yeah, that is the end of the session. Hopefully, you all had registered for this session. We have successfully snagged an API key. We have checked out how to do grounding with Google search, URL context. We copied that code and ran it locally as well. So quickstart 1.py, quickstart 2.py, code copied from their website, and it works, as we can definitely see. And we have also successfully built a project, Lucky Spin Raffle, which is on my GitHub, completely done from Google AI Studio. Okay, any questions, anyone, before we end this session? Hopefully you all registered, because the full-time team will basically choose a random raffle winner from the list of participants who have registered. Oh, there's a question. Is this based on TypeScript? Yes, it is, because the file name is TSX and there are these interfaces, there are these types. So, yes, it is TypeScript. It's not now. It will happen on Monday when the full time team comes in. Okay. Yes. Good night and happy New Year. And thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Hopefully, you all enjoyed the session. You all learned something new. And once again, you're welcome, definitely. I am glad that you got an idea for your hackathon. And okay, I'll be around for any questions that might pop up. I'll be looking at the Discord chat, and if there's anything, feel free to do. Well, I wish that you get it. I'll I'll hope that you get it. Yeah, I'll pray for it. Okay, cool. Thank you so much, everyone. Once again, this was intro to Google AI Studio. Hopefully, you all got a very nice introduction, and I'll see you around over the weekend. Thanks all. Cheers. Bye bye.